So one of the big differences between us at ProSport Physiotherapy and maybe some other therapists is that we've got a tried and tested step-by-step system that has been proven to get results, get people out of pain, but more importantly, keep them out of pain and get them back doing the things that they need to be able to do in their day-to-day lives. Whether that's their particular sport, playing with their grandkids, going for long walks, whatever it is that is important to them. So this system has been tried and tested over years and years with athletes and patients just to make sure that it works, and it's got proven results. So the first stage of that system, and one of the most important stages of our system, is just understanding your story. So everybody's pain is different, and two people could have a very, very similar injury, but it's going to be very, very different for each of them because it's going to be a different set of circumstances that have led to that injury for them. So for example, if you're suffering from back pain, normally it's something that's built up over time, and then one incident eventually lets the back go, for want of a better word, and that's when you start off with your pain. But there's things that happen prior to that that have led to the back becoming vulnerable and becoming painful in that situation. So if we understand your story, know the injuries that have happened to you in the past, perhaps some of the emotional stressors, some of the lifestyle stresses that your body has been through, then we can have a really good understanding of what's led to this point. Once we understand the story, then the next thing that we do is we find a true stressor for that pain. So a lot of the time people with back pain, they might get a massage and they might stretch off their back, and it might feel good temporarily, but the pain always comes back. And that's because the pain is just the symptom, but it's not the underlying problem. So there's something somewhere else that's not doing its job very well. So an obvious example, or not an obvious example, but an easy example, is if someone sprained an ankle in the past, for example. That's maybe going to make them not be very happy to put as much weight on that right leg as they usually do, because they're trying to protect that old ankle sprain, and perhaps they're going to compensate for the back. So if they're bending to pick something up, instead of pushing well through that foot, they're going to overwork their back, which over time is going to cause those tissues to become irritated and sore. So once we understand your story, we're going to find the true stressor, treat the root cause of the problem so that the pain goes away and doesn't come back again. Once we understand the stressor, the next stage is undoing those unwanted movement habits. So usually in response to an old injury or an old stressor, the body compensates, and we're really, really good at adapting to things as humans. So we're really, really good at compensating and finding a strategy that works. And you tend to get away with that for so long, but eventually it causes problems elsewhere, like the lower back, for example. And we want to unlearn those unwanted movement habits and give the body new, better strategies that's going to take load away from the back, which is going to help the pain stop returning. Once we have that, then we're going to move towards the ideal outcome. So this comes back to understanding your story, is we want to know exactly where you want to get to. So what do you want to be able to do that you can't do at the moment? What would your life look like if you weren't in pain? And we're going to move towards that. So if that's playing with your grandkids, for example, we're going to make sure you can bend, you can pick things up, you can twist, you can turn, you can move quickly and do all the things that you need to be able to do, so that if you're playing with your grandkids in the park and they go to run across the road, you're going to have the confidence to be able to quickly stop them and grab them without worrying about your back pain coming on. Once we move towards the ideal outcome, the big thing we want to do after that then is build resilience. So we don't want you just to get back to where you were before. We want you to be even better than that. We want you to be strong, stable and confident in those positions and with those movements. So we're going to build some strength, build some resilience, and build some tolerance to movements so that your pain doesn't come back and you've got the confidence to do things that you maybe wouldn't have thought of doing before because of the back pain. And then the last thing we're going to do is just empower you to live life to the full. So if we go through this step-by-step method properly, you should feel confident, you should feel ready to do anything without having to worry about your pain. So it might look like that you're never going to get to that point now where you are at the moment, but if you manage to get through all of these stages and go through the step-by-step process in the right order, then you're going to have great success and be able to live your life to the full. What normally happens if people have a flare-up is they've either progressed too quickly or they've skipped a step. And our therapists here are really, really good at making sure that you go through the right progressions at the right time so that that doesn't happen.